Hey everyone, it's Dr. Stop Loss, and today I want to completely rewire how you think about money. By the end of this video, you'll understand three things. Number one, why it's absolutely necessary to be in the stock market. Number two, why now is one of the best times in history to join in. And three, the hidden barriers that are inside you that are holding you back from real success. Fair warning, what I'm about to share might sting, it might make you feel uncomfortable, or it might flip a switch and give you the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Either way, if you feel something during this video, that's a sign you're waking up. To get there, I'll be pulling some ideas from some of the greats: Alex Hormozi, Robert Greene, Tony Robbins, Morgan Housel, Professor Jiang from Predictive History, and mixing it with my own perspective as a psychiatrist and investor. So buckle up and let's dive in. Okay guys, this is gonna hurt a bit, but bear with me. Let's start with game theory. Whether you realize it or not, you're already in a giant game, a never-ending power struggle just like Robert Greene wrote about in the 48 Laws of Power. Game theory defines a game as any situation where multiple decision makers each want the best outcome for themselves, but what you get depends on the decisions of others. That's life in a nutshell. Society is the board, and every part of your life plays out like a market in itself, with valuations and transactions occurring every millisecond. Dating's a market, housing's a market, jobs are a market. You can try to ignore it, but you can't escape it. And like any game, there are inputs and outputs. Your inputs are your decisions, how you work, where you put your money, how you use your time, and all kinds of other decisions you make daily. The outputs are what you get back, like wealth, opportunity, freedom, progression, or the lack of those things. The problem is that most people, and I mean like 97% of all people, are unconsciously putting in the wrong inputs. They're following a script society handed them decades ago. Go to school, get a job, save a little, and someday at 65, you'll get to enjoy the promised land of the R word. Can you guess what it is? Retirement. But here's the truth, that strategy is broken. It's the equivalent of showing up to a high-stakes poker game with a handful of Uno cards. Nobody's gonna like that. And so why? Simple, my friend. Because the system itself is rigged. The richest people didn't save their way to wealth, they owned. They owned stocks, they owned real estate, they started businesses, or they were born into it. While they were compounding, everyone else was told to just keep working. And the gap keeps widening. This might be a surprise to you, but the top 10% of households owned about 93% of the US stock market. The top 1% own more than half. 73% of all wealth is owned by Americans over the age of 55. For everyone else, wages don't keep up with the costs, inflation eats your savings, interest rates make borrowing harder, companies squeeze your pay, AI's threatening jobs, you can't buy a home, and the dollar buys you less every year. It's like sinking in quicksand. The harder you struggle, the deeper you get. And so I just wanted to give a quote here that I got from a lecture that Professor Jiang gave on Predictive History. The second American dream is to avoid falling into debt. So true. And yet, society's big promise is still, just grind it out for 40 years working and you'll be free. You may not realize it yet, but that's not a retirement plan, that's a gamble in itself. The bet you're taking is that you'll have the peace of mind by that age and will be free from the system. However, most people lose purpose, connection, and their health by that time when they finally cash in their chips. So what's the real alternative to this? It's really that you stop playing society's slow lane, you start playing the ownership game. You put your chips where the wealthiest people put theirs, and that's in stocks. Because stocks are the most liquid, accessible way for the average person to participate in wealth creation. The easiest entry point to step onto the right board and finally play the right game. Leveraging your returns and calculating your risk better than any asset class. And so you might ask, I think I can see it. You're about to ask, so why now? It's because this moment in history is a turning point. Every year, more money flows into the market. Companies and institutions are betting big on the next technological waves, such as artificial intelligence, quantum computing, nuclear energy, renewable energy sources, cybersecurity, biotech, fintech, space tech, autonomous mobility, edge computing, robotics, cloud computing, and so much more. Volatility is rising, black swan events are more common, and in that chaos, the largest real transfers of wealth are happening every single day. The board is set, the players are moving. The only question is, are you even on the board? If this resonated with you, and if you're tired of being on the wrong side of the system, hit subscribe. This channel is here to help you flip the script. Let's work together towards your vision of the future. And don't forget that if you don't work to build your dreams, someone else will happily hire you to build theirs. So now that we've established that the system is rigged, let's pause for a second, because when you feel stuck at the bottom of a well, the best thing to do is not just to panic and try to climb harder, it's to reflect and ask a deeper question. What is the point of all this? What is money actually for? In the book, The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel makes a powerful point. Money isn't just numbers in a bank account. It's not about Lambos or private jets. Money is a psychological tool. It represents freedom, control over your time, individual power, the ability to say no when you need to, and the space to focus on what matters to you, which is getting more difficult to do as time goes on. Traditional finance textbooks make it sound like a math problem about compound interest, risk curves, and all of that, and it is to some extent, but in the real world, how we think about money is shaped by behavior, ego, pride, fear, regret, and personal experience. So let me ask you, why do you even want money? What is money to you? Be brutally honest with yourself. Most people's first answers are surface level, like cars, vacations, backyard pools, and flexing on Instagram or TikTok. If you thought about those, no judgment. And don't get me wrong, those things can feel good for a short time, but what happens after that dopamine hit fades, when the novelty is gone? You may find yourself asking, is this it? Is this all that life is meant to be? Over the years, I've begun to see this more and more clearly, but many people believe the saying, money is like air. When it's there, you don't think about it. But when it's gone, you can't breathe. But here's a way to dig deeper into that thought. What actually sustains humans is not stuff, objects purchased with money. It's connection with people who you love and love you, with yourself and the world around you. It's mastery, growing, learning, creating, getting sharper every year. It's contribution, helping others, leaving a legacy, making an impact beyond yourself, having a greater purpose for your life. Add into that art, presence, moments in nature, even silence. These are the things people look back on at the end of their lives and say, yeah, you know what? That's what mattered. And so how do I know I'm right? I'm not a cocky guy. How do I know I'm right? So COVID was the perfect litmus test. We all watched how trust in institutions collapsed. People were isolated, communities fell apart, and yet what we craved most wasn't the paycheck, it was each other, purpose, belonging, which many of us lost during that time. However, paychecks are nice too. So what should you take from this? The most important part is that money is just a tool. It's not the goal. The real goal is to use money to buy time. Time to be present, time to grow, time to build something meaningful with the people who matter most. Money is the fuel and nothing more. So ask yourself this. Do you want money for more stuff? Or do you want money to unlock connection, mastery, and contribution? Because if it's the second, then owning assets isn't just about getting rich. It's about buying back the most valuable resource you'll ever have. Your time. In my work as a psychiatrist, I've seen this again and again. It's not intelligence that separates people who succeed from those who spin their wheels. It's perspective, it's pattern recognition, and self-control. So think about it. Your beliefs shape your reality. The mind comes before matter. If you believe you have potential, you'll take action. Action builds results, and then results reinforce your beliefs, and the cycle compounds on that. If your belief is broken, the whole system can collapse. And so that's why success is not about knowing more. It's about mastering yourself. The more you understand your own patterns, human nature, and the world around you, the more decisive and confident your actions become. At the core, there are two goals here. This is really important. Number one is to gain deeper insight and awareness into ourselves and our environment. Number two is to build evidence that supports or disproves our systems and beliefs so we can actually improve them. But here's the thing. The barriers to success are not technical, they're psychological. Fear, greed, confusion, laziness, and something people don't talk about enough is something called anhedonia. It's the flat lack of drive or joy that makes life feel meaningless. It's dullness, the inversion of hedonism. These emotions hijack your decisions. They make you put things off, chase what's popular instead of what's right, quit too early, or freeze in place while opportunities just pass you by. And so the truth is, life doesn't punish lack of knowledge as often as it punishes lack of emotional control. Or as Napoleon once said, a genius is the man who can do the average thing when everyone else around him is losing his mind. That's composure, that's psychology, and that's the real game. And so success starts with your ability to handle your own nervous system and make decisions when everyone else is paralyzed. And here's the bigger picture. Once you learn to control your own impulses, to fish for yourself per se, and to learn the system of value and teach others to do the same, you ultimately reclaim power from these institutions that want you dependent on them. You gain the leverage to redirect value back towards individuals, back towards families and communities, instead of letting it concentrate at the top like we talked about. And so guys, that's why I actually built this channel. I want to teach you not just strategies, I want to teach you systems. And to give you something repeatable frameworks so you're not lost in the noise. To show you what I do and how I do it, to be of service to you as best I can, and to help you filter out the chaos, and to help you take control of your mind and emotions. Once you master that, everything else follows. In future videos, I'll be showing you exactly how to build those systems step by step. And so stay tuned for that, guys. That'll be fun. So let's bring it all together, why don't we? At the start of this video, I told you I'd help you understand 3 things. Number 1, why it's absolutely necessary to get into the stock market. Number 2, why now is one of the best times in history to do so. And number 3, the biggest barriers standing between you and your success. And so we covered how the system's rigged, and why the only way to flip the script is to play the right game. We've reimagined what money is really for. Not just more stuff, but freedom, connection, mastery, and contribution in your life. And we've talked about the true enemy. It's not the math, it's not the markets, it's your own psychology, it's your own mind. Which leads me to this. And this is really important, so come close, guys. Come on. Come closer. Yeah, come on. Listen to this. If you don't own productive assets, you will be priced out of the future. So do old Dr. Stoppy here a solid. Get in the markets, master your emotions, profit, and then use that money to serve a meaningful life for yourself and for the people around you. Money at the end of the day is just a tool, and if you can use it wisely, it buys you the one thing that actually matters, and that's your time, as we mentioned earlier. So guys, if this video hit you, if it gave you perspective, a little clarity, or even a kick in the pants, subscribe and join us here in the foxhole. This channel is all about helping you to stop being the sandbag in this game and to finally start being the player. The system's not changing anytime soon, but you can change how you play it, so let's win.